This is an interesting one. Let's talk about this. I've actually seen some aha moments when we're talking to new customers, because everything you're talking about means, and we're going to talk about this in a little bit, that this search product understands the products. This search tool understands the products really, really well, right? And we also understand users' behaviors. So if we understand all that, does that mean we can actually control other aspects of the website better, perhaps, than you can?
For sure. And that's why we had all this conversation around the search bar and autocomplete and things like that. We think that's a super powerful and important feature, but make no mistake, in the end, there are going to be significant pages with lists of products that are sorted with facets and let people drill down. So leveraging all of that understanding of how people are searching to also drive the quote unquote page, the landing page, the product category page, is as valuable as we were saying before within the search bar experience. But the second thing that you said, Jeremy, is so important here, which is either a visibility rule. So we've kind of been talking more high level keyword replacements and things like that, but more of a rule. So that rule, or sometimes what we refer to as a visitor target, is really, once again, kind of thinking a little bit of the way that the B2C world works, which is I have a segment, and that segment of visitors that meet certain parameters, or it could just even be down to an individual customer, should see different content than someone else would see, for example. So maybe the example in the B2C world would be, we were kind of joking, I'm on the East Coast, a little bit colder in New England, you're on the West Coast, typically warmer. In the B2C world, if I, meaning coming into the website from New England, search for coat, I would most likely see heavier coats. And if you search for coat, Jeremy, you're going to see lighter weight coats, most likely, and depending on the time of year, what have you. This works also within different types of products. If you're searching for certain electrical wiring or insulation, what have you, maybe these are dependent on where you're from, what you've ordered before, what have you. So the point is, applying these types of either segmentation concepts or more kind of hardcore visibility rules is a great way to, once again, add some logic on top of all of the data that's sitting in your product catalog. Yeah,
I feel like this is just another aspect of that, right? And I feel like we're peeling back the onion here as to how far can a tool like this go once it starts to understand your products and your customers and their behavior.
Yeah, even down to the individual. So the last time that person was in there, where did they click within the navigation? So then the next time they come in, sort according to the way that this person likes to navigate through the site. So I like it. It could just be more general purpose, how people are in general using the site, but the sort, it could also be broken down to that actual individual.
Yeah. And then wrapping up this section, this is always a fun one to end on, because it's kind of, it's a pretty neat tool, right? And it's certainly B2C oriented, right? I mean, it's certainly taking what came out of B2C and putting it into the B2B world. But as you can see from this alone, you've really got to understand that product and all of its attributes to be able to do something like a compare.
For sure. And maybe just one other aspect of this, because up to this point, we've been talking kind of conceptually around, okay, how's the data organized? How am I leveraging AI, what have you, to help me find the right product? But one thing just to highlight, needless to say, with HawkSearch is there are built-in components on the display side, obviously. And there are some defaults that you start with, but one of those defaults that we have built into the framework is indeed an interface like this. And when you're defining, for example, up front, what are your fields and what are you indexing, etc., you just say this one is comparable, and it should be shown in the compare results. So this system takes care of a lot on the front end with the website and the way it works to support this type of functionality.